Good morning, Honorable Sir, respected ma'am. This is VEDANSHU from class 10th A, and in this video, I am going to cover the topic of digestive system and its whole functioning. And this topic falls under the lesson of life processes from science. So let's start the video. So let's start this video by a very basic model of digestion. Here I have color coded some macronutrients. All these are digested in a slightly different way. Now the digestion actually begins in the mouth with active chewing of food. So here the first gland is salivary gland, which secretes the salivary amylase, which begins the digestion of carbohydrates. Next, the food is chewed in the mouth and swallowed down in the form of a bolus through a long tube. We call this tube as esophagus. There's actually a sphincter. It's like kind of a valve, and we actually called it as the lower esophageal sphincter. And sometimes due to it, heartburn is also causes. Now, in the stomach, the bolus is mixed with is going to mixed with different things like pepsin, which continues to digest or which continues to absorb or digest the protein, the lipase, which further continues to digest the fats, and the hydrochloric acid. And this all turns the semi-digested food into a liquid. We called it as chyme. Later, the chyme leaves the stomach through another valve or sphincter. The sphincter is termed as pyloric sphincter. Later, here the bile is secreted by the liver. The bile is sometimes stored when it is not immediately needed. It is sometimes stored in a small organ. We called it as gallbladder. Bladder. And yes, you guessed it correctly. I have color coded this bile in orange color because it digests or it continues the process of digestion of fats. And right about here is another accessory organ, pancreas. So what it does, it secretes pancreatic amylase, lipase, trypsin and chymotrypsin. The trypsin and chymotrypsin has its own use. They are mainly used to digest the protein. So talking about small intestine, it is about 15 to 20 feet long. The second part of the small intestine is jejunum, and its last part, we called it as ileum. Then the chyme gets into the large intestine through the ileocecal valve. So the question will arise in your mind that why it is named as ileocecal. So it is named as ileocecal because the ileocecal valve is present in between of the ileum and cecum. That's why we called it as ileocecal valve. So there is like a kind of small pocket extension. We called it as appendix. If we talk about the large intestine, then there is no absorption done of any semi-digested food. There's only the absorption of water is done. Now, the semi-digested material gets converted into the fecal matter. Now, the fecal matter then pass through the ascending colon, then through the descending colon, and then through the down the descending colon. Okay, so once it reaches the sigmoid colon, the bowels movement is triggered and the feces are egested through the anus. And this is how the whole digestive system works. Now, if we talk more about the cross section, if we take the cross section of the small intestine here, then we would find out that there are small hair-like projections. We call them as villi, and in plurally we can term them as villus. So what is their main function? Their main function is to increase the surface area for the absorption of all nutrients, all macronutrients which include carbs, fats and proteins, etc. in the small intestine. So the villi are richly supplied with the blood vessels which took the food to each and every single cell of the body. So the energy then later it is utilized for our day-to-day task or for day-to-day function. So that was all sort of the digestion of food and its whole functioning. And thank you respected sir and madam for watching this video.